They thought the order would end it. One sharp command, one raised hand, and 50 military dogs would turn and march back to their kennels. But instead, every single dog stepped forward, formed a silent line, and chose the bunker over the command of a Polish commander. Asterisk, what city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more real stories about extraordinary people. The bunker sat deep in a pine forest near the eastern border, a concrete scar from another era. Captain Marek Kowalski had been sent there to shut the operation down. The mission was simple on paper: evacuate personnel, decommission the site, send the K-9 unit home. The threat level was listed as minimal. The weather was cold, the ground frozen, and the trees stood like witnesses that never spoke. Mark had a reputation for discipline. He believed in order, in clean lines and clear obedience. He believed that confusion was weakness. When he arrived at the site, he found confusion everywhere. The bunker doors were sealed from the inside. Communications were down, and the dogs were already deployed. They were not pets. They were trained military dogs, handlers at their sides, each animal carrying the quiet focus that came from years of work. German shepherds, Malinois, a few mixed breeds with sharp eyes and steady breeding. 50 of them, positioned around the bunker like a living wall. Marek stepped out of his vehicle and felt the air change. It was not fear. It was something heavier. The handlers stood stiff, waiting for instructions. Some looked tired. Some looked worried. All of them looked loyal to their dogs. Inside the bunker was Lieutenant Anna Zelinska, a signals officer barely 30, with a history no one at headquarters bothered to read carefully. She had been stationed there to monitor encrypted traffic moving across the border. 3 days earlier, she had detected a pattern that did not fit. Not an attack. Not yet. But a preparation that felt wrong. When she reported it, the response was slow. When she asked for confirmation, the line went dead. And when she tried to evacuate, the system locked itself down. Protocols from decades ago took control. The bunker sealed. The dogs, trained to protect the site under a specific threat condition, activated their final directive: protect the bunker. Protect the signal. Protect the person inside. Outside, Mark raised his voice. He told the handlers the mission was over. He told them to leash the dogs and prepare for transport. He reminded them of the chain of command. He reminded them of consequences. The handlers tried. They spoke calmly. They gave familiar signals. They called names spoken 1,000 times during training. The dogs did not move. Instead, they tightened their formation. No growling. No barking. Just bodies shifting closer to the concrete walls, paws pressing into frozen earth, eyes fixed outward. They were not aggressive. They were resolute. Marek felt irritation rise. This was not how things worked. Orders were orders. Animals followed training. Training followed command. He stepped closer and gave the order himself. Go home. The dogs did not acknowledge him. One handler, Sergeant Thomas Novak, swallowed hard and spoke carefully. Sir, they are locked in the site defense mode. It only triggers under a classified threat condition. It should not be active. Mark asked who authorized it. No one answered. Inside the bunker, Anna sat by the console, the dim lights reflecting off her tired eyes. She had not slept. She had not eaten much. But she had not looked away from the data. The pattern was clearer now. Not an invasion. A deception. False signals meant to draw attention elsewhere. The bunker was a key node. If it went dark, something larger would move unseen. She tried the emergency channel again. It connected for 3 seconds. Long enough to send one packet of data before cutting out. Outside, one of the dogs lifted its head sharply. Another followed. Then another. 50 heads turned toward the bunker door. Marek noticed the shift. He had seen dogs react to threats before. This was different. It was not panic. It was recognition. He ordered a perimeter sweep. Nothing. No movement. No enemy. Just Forrest and silence. Then his radio crackled. Fragmented. Incomplete, but enough. Multiple units compromised. Signals rerouted. Trust no secondary orders. Mark felt the weight of it settle in his chest. He looked back at the bunker, at the dogs, at the handlers who now understood why the animals would not leave. The dogs had received the threat before the humans did. Hours passed. Headquarters sent another order. Stand down. Evacuate immediately. Mark did not repeat it. He asked for clarification. He asked for verification codes. None came. As night fell, the temperature dropped. The dogs remained still. The handlers rotated quietly, sharing blankets, water, silent determination. No one complained. No one asked to leave. Inside, Anna decrypted the final layer. The truth was worse than she expected. The operation was not foreign. It was internal. A test. A manipulation. And the bunker was meant to be isolated, so the data could be erased without witnesses. She sent everything she had through a narrow burst. Piggybacking on an old frequency the dog's collars still used to synchronize. A desperate gamble. Outside, every dog stiffened at once. Mark's radio came alive with clear, undeniable confirmation. Stand by. Secure the site. New orders incoming. This time, the code was real. The bunker doors unlocked slowly. When Anna stepped out, pale and steady, the dogs relaxed for the first time in days. They did not rush her. They simply made space. Mark approached her and saluted. Not because of rank, because of respect. The investigation that followed would take months. Careers would end. Protocols would change. But one detail would stay with everyone who had been there. When ordered to abandon their post, 50 military dogs had refused. Not out of defiance, not out of confusion, but because they understood their purpose more clearly than anyone else in that forest. Loyalty is often described as obedience. But sometimes, loyalty is the courage to stand still when the world tells you to walk away. What did this story make you feel? Where are you watching from? Subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more real stories that heal the heart.